What up guys, it is Justice here and welcome back to Runescape. This is going to be my first GWD2 video post-release, and yeah, I've been really busy with work over the past few days, so I haven't really managed to delve into GWD2 that much. I've probably done about, I'd say around 4 to 5 hours worth of actual gameplay within GWD2, so I'm not sure how much you guys are going to know about the stuff that I'm going to cover now, but essentially what I'll do is I'll just go through my plans with GWD2, my first impressions, initial thoughts of different methods and approaches you can take to this dungeon. And I thought in this video I'm gonna focus around reputation and how to build up the reputation, because if you go to the initial entrance, you can first off get bounties per day. You can get 1 per day. You can stack these up to 5 if you don't want to do them every single day, so essentially almost like dailies, you could say, and if you complete those, they give you reputation. But one thing that quite a lot of people are doing, including myself, I'm getting together into 4-man teams, and I'm actually fighting the boss monsters in 4-man teams, because the top 4 people who deal the most damage will obtain a seal, and with that seal you can hand that into a faction leader for 5 reputation within that faction. Any seal will work on an opposing faction as well, which is pretty cool, but they won't work on their own faction, because I guess that makes sense, because technically you're killing their boss. So it'd be kind of weird to hand in a seal which you've obtained from killing their boss and their master, or their general. So yeah, I kind of like that concept. At first I was like, no, I've just collected like 80 Helwr tokens and I wanted to get Helwr rep, tried to hand them in and it didn't let me, and I was just there like, you've got to be kidding me. But I found out the hard way. So yeah, the good way is probably to just farm Twin Furies, for example, because they're very easy KC, gain reputation in Helwr, and then go Helwr and try and get the better drops, such as the Helwr wand, which sells for more. Every time you kill a boss monster, you'll get 1 or 2 seals. So it's actually a very fast way, a very fast method of obtaining reputation. I actually worked this out. Now I decided to go and do Helwr, and essentially if you are going to solo this, by the way, melee seems to be quite a nice approach to this, and all you need to do is resonance, the very large slash special attack, and then all you need to do then is devotion, the attack where he spins round in a circle while slashing melee hits. So essentially that's all you need to do, and you'll get through this fight without eating any food. You can also use magic if you want to, and just of course just avoid the mushrooms, otherwise you get a bleed effect on you. So I decided to do this boss Helwr. We managed to get 1.3 million loot each across 35 minutes. So we did just 1 overload, and I managed to get 56 seals, which equals 280 reputation. Everybody got around between 52 and 60 seals each. So that's 56 seals for myself, which was 280 reputation. So let's say around 470 rep an hour, which averages out to, let's say, roughly 10 hours of grinding in 4-mans at the Helwr boss anyway, specifically to reach 100% increased drop chance at a specific boss fight. Now, Helwr, you are constantly DPS in this boss, but I reckon the fastest one potentially to grind out would be Twin Furies. I posted a poll as well on Twitter, or I uploaded a poll onto Twitter just to gather a reasonable idea on what the community or what my followers are into at the moment in terms of GWD2. What is their favorite boss monster to kill, and it came out at 45% of people voting for the Twin Furies. I'm predicting that's because they are extremely easy to kill, or to farm anyway. You can literally just stick Soul Split on and zerk out when they do their combined attack, where they're in the middle and there's like a detonation charger and there's flames all around the outside of the map. At that point you can just zerk out because their defense is lower and deal a huge amount of damage output with AoE abilities, because these share their life points. So I'm suspecting with 4-mans, Twin Furies are extremely quick to drop down. You can deal just solo about 100k worth of damage across about 7 or 8 seconds. So they are a crazy boss to kill, and considering you can actually share your seals as well across the different factions by the looks of it, then Twin Furies would be a very good shout to farm in a 4-man to quickly get reputation. Now, why would I want to quickly get reputation? Well, let's say you are going to do the Helwr method and I go on the rep there. I after 10 hours of grinding out Helwr and 4-man teams, you'll be able to gain enough seals to hand in for 5,000 reputation within a specific faction. That would then give you a 100% drop increase. So increased drops from the Seren's General, let's say Helwr by 100%. So for example, let's say you're going for the Helwr wand, you would have double the chance to actually get that one now if you've unlocked this reputation reward. After speaking to a JMod who played a part in the development of this, that's how I think it works. I'm still grinding right now as well, or not grinding, but I'm still doing Trio Viragos whenever I can to try and obtain a seismic wand, because that would just be glorious. That would be a pinnacle moment of playing RuneScape for me if I managed to get a trio seismic drop. So that's still a thing I'm doing in the background. I also want to get a spider leg middle to complete my full spider leg, and then once I sell my full spider leg for whatever that's going for now, which I suspect it's going for a lot more right now because the scythe is going for 250 mil or so, which is crazy because there's some hype saying scythe's amazing at GWD2. It's amazing at Twin Furies. That's what I'm going to say about that. Oh yeah, back to actually grinding out the boss. It'll only require, let's say 10 hours worth will only require 200 kill count. So you can easily share 10 hours of instances across your team as well. Once you set up an instance, it will absorb 40 KC, and that will last for an hour, and you can go back in normal mode. Personally, I play the game for the fun factor of like a challenge. So I've been doing challenge mode when I've been soloing, but there really isn't much incentive to do that unless you build up your KC loads on normal mode. For example, with the method of 4-manning, you're going to build up a lot quicker KC than if you're solo, which means you're going to reach that threshold of 400 kills, and that will halve the drop rate of the pets as well. So that's worth doing in that respect if you are farming for pets as well. But of course, then you've got to compete with other people in your team with DPS, so it's up to you how you balance that amongst your friends. Anyways, just to finish off this video, of course, summoning beasts as well whilst you're obtaining your kill count can really help out with your reputation when you spawn them. So I decided to get a group of mates together just to basically obtain KC rapidly. So I gathered a few people together from my friends chat, I tweeted out for help, and there was about 8 or 9 of us who turned up within about 5 minutes. We started gathering fragments, and we got around 1,000 fragments each, and then just spawned a colossal amount of beasts. There's an option on each faction where you can use up 250 fragments to spawn the biggest or the largest damaging beast, and I decided to summon the Seren beasts, which just look incredible because they deal damage via the ability of Omnipower. So they just completely Omnipower you. I almost got cleared. Well, actually, I'm just going to admit it. I got cleared by about 6 of them dealing Omnipower damage onto me due to running out of food. So it was awesome. Some could say they're harder than Twin Furies. Now I'm only messing, but they're really fun to fight. And in the aspect of just seeing it, you would have watched some of the footage throughout this video, and it just looks awesome. I really had a lot of fun, and that's what it's about for me. So I had a lot of fun with that. Thanks guys, people who turned out and just spawned all of those beasts. And for me personally, that's what this dungeon should be. I'm a bit disappointed by how quiet it is, and they did hotfix the spawn rates. However, I still feel there should be more action, and it should be busier. There should be a busier feeling down there in the dungeon, because it is lacking. Now, yeah, that restricts you in terms of trying to gain KC and trying to keep the multiplier going, and maybe that's why they've got it like this, because it's more of a challenge to keep that multiplier at 300%. Well, maybe they could just reduce the amount of percentage that you get when you kill one of the faction monsters, and they could just balance it out that way. By the way, I was just embracing the moment, was not really taking into consideration how many rocktails I was actually eating. Probably should have just switched to Magic Prey looking back at this. But also, I was getting damage. Majority of the damage was coming from my own Seren Automaton champions that I was spawning. And you don't even get KC off those guys when you kill them, but because I was using AoE abilities, it got them aggroed onto me. Now that's something which I wished I could potentially fix with the artificial intelligence, make them intelligent enough to know not to attack their own master. That would help because I don't gain any KC or benefit out of it, except for reputation when spawning them. Because technically they're supposed to help you get KC by killing the other faction monsters. Anyway guys, thank you very much for listening to today's video. Again, all of this knowledge is just from doing God Wars Dungeon for about 4 hours, so lots I want to delve into hopefully this weekend, although I think I'm going to be climbing up a mountain this weekend, so not quite sure in terms of time how I'm going to plan all this out, but hopefully I'll be able to push out some content for you soon to do with God Wars Dungeon 2. So thank you for watching and listening, and let me know in the comment section your progress with God Wars Dungeon 2, because I know a lot of people like to farm and grind on this game, so let me know in the comment section what's your progress personally and what are you enjoying most about God Wars Dungeon 2. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.